How's it going, everyone? Welcome to a very unfortunate episode 2 of F1 My Career Mode. As you can see, we've skipped to the Paul Ricard as all the other videos got deleted. And as you can see in the standings, we have 1 point from Canada, and Bahrain we finished last. Imola, that was a good race up until the very end, of course. As we finished P17th, Portugal, Spain, and Monaco, as I explained, got deleted because of a hard drive issue. I talked about that in Imola, but the Azerbaijan in Canada got deleted because I accidentally deleted the wrong folder. And when I went to restore that folder, basically only bits and pieces of Imola and the intro of Canada actually survived. So unfortunately, yeah. And the reason we finished last in Baku was because a late move in the second to last lap or final lap. Latifi made a very late move under braking and trying to block us, and unfortunately we broke a little piece of our front wing, and we just fell down from there because it was right after a safety car, so everyone was packed together. But yeah, that's basically what happened. The only reason I didn't completely restart was because Imola survived, and I recorded the Paul Ricard after everything happened. So in qualifying, I kind of drive a bit angrily, but in the race I do calm down quite a bit because I literally recorded the video like an hour after I realized everything happened. But that's, unfortunately happens, and best we can do is just move on, and hopefully nothing like this happens ever again. But that's all I really have to say for the intro. So let's hop right into qualifying. Alrighty, here we are qualifying. I do like the Paul Ricard as a circuit, but I'd like to test on it, in time trial. But coming around here in these laps, you might think otherwise, as I do drive quite aggressively and quite angrily as we go wide here. But like I said, basically everything just when we drove around here, everything had just happened within like an hour or two. Every video deleting, so I was quite upset with that, with myself, and yeah, kind of took it out on the lap. Which when I race, I try to stay calm and collective as much as I can, because that's when I go faster. Because when I start to rage at the game, as I do a lot, especially in time trial, I kind of go slower. But here we kind of cut the corner a little bit. But during that time, I did not care one bit. But we're definitely going to have to attempt another lap, as it's been compromised quite a bit after coming in the first sector before the first straight. I did not go fast enough, and here I don't go fast enough either. So we're definitely going to have to try to do another lap, but here just go wide and kind of just go off of that. But not a clean lap at all. A really awful lap, to be honest. But we kind of just wanted to finish a lap to, kind of set a marker to see where I went fastest and where I can go faster. But here I go for it, but then I spin out a little bit, and we lose 0.2 of a second. But I believe a lot of our time was in that second and final sector, and coming around here, like I said, did not go fast enough or wide enough, but still I kind of lock up a little bit, but still 0.2 down on our time. I skipped the first sector, as you can see we lost 0.3 on our time, and we don't actually start gaining time until this chicane, as even though we're down tenths, we get a much better exit, and this allows us to, even though still within 3 tenths, still hope for faster. As coming around in the third sector is where we kind of gone wide, and coming through here is where I did not go fast enough, as we want to go wide and then hit this curb. But even then, we still lose time, as I don't believe we got a good entry point on that corner. But here we do much better, as this is where I went wide and slowed down a lot. But here we lock up a little bit, and ultimately lose quite a bit of time. And for a second there, we saw a glimpse of hope, but unfortunately, we're not able to put in another lap, and we have to settle for P17th, I believe, P18th, as George Russell gets ahead of us. So yeah, disappointing qualifying. Like I said, I drove a lot hot-headed, but during the race, I was much more calm and collective, as you guys will see. But let's just hop right into the race. Already race day in France, and like I said, I do race a lot more calm and collective here, as my brain kind of had time to process everything. But let's just get this race right underway. Lights out and away we go. We get a nice start as we fly by George Russell and Antonio Giovinazzi as we come on the inside of Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll, and we kind of dive bomb it here past Kimi Räikkönen and just past Ocon as he pushes us wide, and we keep 12th position, and now it's on to Alonso as Ocon tries to go for another move, but we able to fend him off, and then we come on the outside of Alonso right behind Lewis Hamilton, who I'm surprised to see as he's going super slow and almost hits us there. Don't know what happened to Hamilton. Maybe some touching with maybe his teammate or the Red Bulls up front, but now 10th place, points. Nice to see, as we have Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda up next, followed by what appears to be a Ferrari, and we see some battling up ahead, which we will hopefully have to capitalize on, as if you look at our ERS, we just drained it, almost down to 50%. Yeah, not very good ERS management, as here we don't go as wide as I'd like, but we're still able to gain time on Ricciardo, as here we go wide. We're definitely going to go wide there a little bit, but I'll try to keep it tame, not make too many mistakes, as we start to gain lots of time on the McLaren, and already down to a second as coming into turn one, down to 50% ERS. Not good ERS deployment or management, as you will see throughout this race. But now half a second on Ricciardo. We're just gaining time on these midfield cars, and almost just right on the back of him. But we do not get DRS till the next lap. But even then, he'll definitely have DRS off of Yuki Tsunoda. But actually what I've noticed is this main straight, or not this straight, the next straight, the AI are so much faster, and I have to deploy a lot of ERS in order to stay with them, as even with this, without this ERS deployment, look at how much time they're gaining on me. I believe it's just, how fast, or how light the cars are, as our chassis is not where I'd like it to be, and downforce and engine upgrades. But we're still able to stay within half a second of Ricciardo coming into this lap, as we will get DRS in the next straight. But it's good to see, staying ever so slightly closer to Daniel Ricciardo. And yeah, it's pretty great. We don't actually see that much action not until the second straight, I believe. But we still stay really close to Ricardo, as actually it's the next lap. We don't see that much. But to here, make a move on Ricardo, but kind of bail out as I don't have that much to lose, as Ocon is still 2 seconds behind, and we are in a points position, and we're not a podium fighting position, or we're not a high points fighting car, so we don't have that much to lose, as I kind of have to bail out. I didn't want my front wing to be gone. But we get DRS, but it's really ineffective, as Ricardo has DRS off of Tsunoda, and Tsunoda has DRS off of the McLaren or Ferraris, and on and on. But yeah, and this means mainly coming through this turn, actually, is where we lose a little bit of time. But as you can see, down to 6 ERS, 6% ERS, as we shoot up back to 13, but still with 4 laps, not good management, as we do another move on Ricardo, but we go wide as we lock up a little bit, but we managed to hold on, and also tire management is not good. We lock up quite a lot during this race, whether it's just tiny lockups, and we just scrub the tires, but we get the move done on Ricardo. P9, highest we've been able to kind of more like legit been in a race. As Imola, we were in P3, but that was because of all the leaders had pitted and due to a safety car. But if we are able to get past Yuki Tsunoda, we might be able to challenge the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc and maybe even Carlos Sainz. But Yuki Tsunoda still has DRS off Charles, as Charles is within a second of us. So we're a tight pack. But as you can see in the mini-map, the leaders are just so much farther ahead, as Valtteri Bottas is just so far dominating the race. But Max Verstappen is our championship leader. Valtteri Bottas not far behind. I don't know where Lewis Hamilton ranks, but yeah, we can see him just so far behind on the mini-map. I don't know. He probably might have some side pod issues, or maybe back wing, but I do not know, as Charles Leclerc decides to pit, and we're still right behind as Lewis Hamilton DNFs. I guess this car just decided to call it quits, and but no safety car, as he's able to safely park his car, and most likely an engine issue or something along those lines, as Yuki Tsunoda takes the inside racing line, but I decide not to go for it, and we are pitting this lap, so we do need to get ahead of Yuki. That would be very beneficial for us, but I do believe he might not have DRS coming down this straight. As he goes past it, he does not, but I don't have a lot of ERS to play with, and these cars are so much faster down the main straights, and this yellow flag would not allow us to overtake Yuki Tsunoda. And of course, this straight, even with our ERS deployment, you can see Yuki Tsunoda just pulling away hundreds of a second at a time, and already up a tenth of a second, as our car is very slow around here, as we lock up quite a bit and we go wide. But I don't really care too much, as we are pitting this lap, but not good for the tires, and we don't want to be doing that too much on the mediums as we come into the pits, and we are very careful not to receive another 5-second penalty. I did not receive another 5-second penalty throughout this season, so that was just a one-time incident in Imola. But yeah, no 5-second time penalty, and it's gonna be a tight pit stop, as quite a lot of the people in front of us have pitted, but we could have gotten out, I'd say a little bit slower, but we're just behind Yuki Tsunoda as, yeah, just kissing him. And as you can see, Daniel Ricciardo, who pit a lap earlier, seems to have benefited off the undercut. And we can see, actually, Yuki, him almost ramming into Yuki. But here, we actually make a move on Daniel, who has fitted the hard tires, even though I'm pretty sure mediums would last easily. So, yeah, probably just a weird AI strategy. But we have DRS and gaining on Yuki Tsunoda, but still quite a ways back in order to, from starting a move. But we go wide here and kind of cut the corner here, and we get called out for corner cutting, and we don't want to do that, as we don't want to kind of. But here, Yuki Tsunoda just spins off. I don't really know what happened. He just swerves off, but it doesn't look like he rams into the wall. But like I was saying about corner cutting, don't want to do that. I try not to corner cut too much, even though I'm not on strict. I'm not on strict rules. I still don't want to take advantage of it, as I want to kind of keep it as realistic as possible. But here we kind of touched too much of the curb, and the car did not like that. But lap 11, we go for a move on Danny Rick, but he will get DRS on that straight, and as we know, the cars are so much faster than us down those straights, as I guess just really how heavy our car is, and our engine upgrades. As I think we have a Honda engine or a Mercedes. I'm pretty sure it's a Honda though. But we deploy a little ERS, but it's no use as Daniel Ricciardo comes zipping past us. But I try to go for the inside line, but he doesn't want to move, and I was maybe a little concerned that he touched us, and he has a damaged front wing. But I don't think that's the case, as he's able to stay ahead of us. But I have a plan, and the plan is really to not overtake him, save ERS, and try to wait till the final lap to go for an overtake, as we'll be able to have plenty of ERS to kind of play with. But here I try to devise the plan as we get DRS coming down here, but we still don't have a lot of ERS, as we did not manage it very well in the beginning. But even though we're able to stay right behind him, we know no matter how much ERS we deploy here, the cars are still faster, as we are too slow. I mean, even though we are 5 seconds behind Ocon, I still really want to go for Ricciardo. And here a little bit of lockup, but here we almost slide, and this compromises us quite a lot, as Valtteri Bottas fastest lap and finishes first, we get called for corner cutting again, and that was our final warning. And it just looks like we're not going to be able to do it here, as we lock up a little bit again. And even though we have DRS and we have plenty of ERS, we're still not able to do it. And we finish P9, and not bad. Definitely upsetting with how close we were to Daniel Ricciardo, but best finish as we win driver of the day, best finish of the season so far. Looks like things are turning up, as all the other videos got deleted. But hopefully this is great things to come, and yeah, pretty satisfying race. Happy with it, even though we were right behind Daniel Ricciardo, and we were ahead of him for quite a lot of the race. But the undercut seemed to work here at the Paul Ricard, and we probably should have thought about doing that. As look at that, 2 points, beautiful. And we did have quite a good time compared to everyone else. We were 4/10 up on Daniel Ricciardo, but as you can see here, we're 9th in the standings, ahead of Alfa Romeo, and half of what Haas is. But I think really Haas was because Mick Schumacher in Imola had such a great race, as he benefited a lot on that safety car. So I don't think it was really them because they're fast, just more so because they got lucky. But yeah, great race, and great turnaround from how today ended, or how today started. But I was hoping that Canada would, or Brazil would go ahead in the PSGL League, but it doesn't, so I won't be able to do a video on that. But not much else to say. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment what you guys want to see next. Peace.